Greetings and God bless. I am no anthropologist, but I am one to tribalism. So we can look at what's going on in the left, what's going on in what is called gang stuff, um, the stuff going on in cities of people killing other people, and um, the antipathy against conservatives, people who support other people, um, antagonism against people who believe in Jesus. And it just dawned on me that maybe this is all tribalism because there's no conscience. The left isn't feeling bad about trying to take Christian children and change their gender or sexual orientation. And certain demographics don't seem to have any conscience about murdering people in cold blood, or breaking in, doing home invasions. And I'm tribalism because, and that's kind of a different, like, civilization. They use like large forces to invade other countries and whatnot. But in all tribes, whether it was like the Vikings or Native Americans or, people on the steppes of Tibet or whatever, like what they did was one tribe would come to another tribe and they could be the same race, just, you know, a, a taking of resources. And area, burn all the houses, rape the women, kill the children, or enslave the women and children and boys or whatever. And that is literally, it seems to me, what's going on in our world right now. So, there's all these videos going on of people doing violence. It could be in their own community, like road rage or just whatever, right? I mean, even this systemic exploitation by established businesses against unwitting victims to get money. This is about resources, and like conservatives or trolls will be like, oh, this type of behavior is due to that person's skin color. And I'm, like a leftist will be like, oh, that's because that person's white. Like a white leftist will be like, oh, that's because that person's white. It's just very, very superstitious, actually. So I am realizing that's what's, at least in my paradigm, that there's this tribalism going on, and we have changed from a society that's according to the Western paradigm of civilization. We have descended into tribalism, and people don't realize it. The left doesn't realize there's tribalism going on, because I'm sure, like, white people, why are black people killing black people? Social engineering. There's a lot of white mentally ill addicts in the gutter, that are homeless, as well as black people. And I don't see mentally ill, addicted, homeless, and I don't see quite as many Hispanic mentally ill, addicted, homeless people. But definitely, I see a lot of white people. I see a majority of white, mentally ill, homeless, and then I see a few black people. And I would say there's more white men and women, and then there's more black men, but some black women as well. And I've noticed this throughout the country. Like I'm a pedestrian, so I'm always taking the bus and walking on the sidewalk of cities that I visit or live, and that is what I noticed firsthand. And I would say the majority of homeless that I see are white people. And I think because there's just more traditional. When I was living in the Bay Area in the 90s, I was told that Oakland had the largest amount. This was somebody who was working in the industry. They said that Oakland had the largest amount of people on welfare. And Oakland is like the Harlem of the Bay Area. Like, there's just a majority of black people there. And it's a very complex system. And when I've um, overheard people talking about it, they like these. This is a generational system in these, and the folks that are successful in it, the black people have been successful in it. The black people have observed is it's insurance. It's like welfare is insurance for those uh, who are have limitations, self limitations, or whatever. And um, but anyways, I am realizing that all this stuff that's going on. So conservatives will bash certain demographics, leftists will bash the conservative Christians, but this is all tribalism. And like the left has its chosen family, whether it's an LBGT thing or environmentalist thing, diversity BLM kind of a thing. But these are chosen tribes. And then being so shocked because what we see, the violence we see, is actually what happens in tribalism. Like across culturally, transhistorically, if you look throughout history, this same thing happened and it wasn't anything personal. It wasn't like, I mean, tribe may have hated another. That's what I've observed. Um, like when I've met Native people in Alaska, they hated the Plains Indians just as a rule. They were like, oh, the Plains Indians are just garbage. I mean, it's like and what's interesting is people hate people of their own race more than people outside of their race. Like, I doubt the Native Americans I met in Alaska hated Chinese people or white people or black people as much as they hated people of their own race, but of a different like location. Um, so I don't understand it all, but I think we need to realize that we've descended from Western civilization and we're back to tribalism, and we're in tribalism, um, living off of the fumes of the formal civilization we used to have. So, and I think what's what's even more challenging is the left will shame the white left will shame a white person if that or be excited about